Okay, so something we need to focus on across the board is going to be volume. And there's really no like for sure tips out there to this is how you increase volume. There's lots of different bits and pieces that we can do. And so I definitely want everyone to take notes because I do have some really good things on here. So I have been reviewing conversations for people, many of people who are on your guys' team, some people who are on my team. And the number one problem that where people lose their LC conversation is in the first section when they're finding the goal and they're talking to the person. Every single person I've reviewed their conversation rushes through that. And once you do that, you tell the person you don't really care about them or their goal and that you just care about getting the sale. And that's it. You've lost it. So if you rush through that, and I want you guys to consciously be thinking about this when you're talking to someone, that once you rush through that, you've lost them. This is a consultation, and you need to take that time to relate to them. And if you can't relate to them, you need to find someone on our team who can and get them in a conversation and say, you know what, I've never used greens or whatever it happens to be, but I have someone on my team who uses them every single day and she's had really good transformation. Can I get them in a chat with you? If you don't know specifically someone, use our group chats and say, hey, has anyone used this? When someone says yes, you don't need to ask for their written testimony. Say, do you have 3 minutes? Can you talk to someone for me? And we're going to get a little bit into that. So you want to definitely be confident. Being confident sells. If you're not confident, people are going to trust you. So be confident in what you're saying and know what you're going to be presenting. So something I read, and this was in just different tips that are out there, is there are no what they call be-backs. So if you're at a car dealership selling cars or a furniture store and someone's like, all right, I'll be back. I'm going to go look over here. They're not coming back, right? How many of you got a follow-up that they never came back, right? Can we all raise our hands? Because if it hasn't happened to you, you're a magician, and I want to know what you're doing. So there are no be-backs. What is going to happen if you get a follow-up and they do reply to you? Whenever you follow up to them, they're probably going to give you another follow-up date, right? Does this happen to you guys? So what I'm doing, and I'm actually being very successful at it, is I take control of the follow-up and I get their information for them. So let me read what I send to people. Essentially what I do is I want to make sure that you're locked in for that price. So and locked in for that discount. I just need a few bits of information. Are you ready? And they send that. And so I say something along those lines. So I'm going to read to you some things that I say. And it's working for me, guys. People I don't even know are sending me their information. It's working perfect. So sorry I didn't have this up. So this is a girl that I just did earlier. She said, sounds good. I want to do this special when I get paid on the 11th. I said, right now I'm trying to get my spaces filled by the 15th. So if you wouldn't mind, I could put you down for the 11th and save your place. She said, yes, please. I'm at work right now. And then I said, okay, I'm just making sure that you're ready. I can give you info to reserve your spot and ensure that you get the discounted price. I send her a picture of the loyal customer form, and I say, I need info for sections 2 and 3. 24 to 48 hours before the 11th, I'll contact you to make sure you're good to still place your order. She sent me her credit card information, her everything in that loyal customer thing. I've done this with every person that's given me a follow-up. I have 5 people who have given me everything from their name to their credit card expiration date for me to place their order. My game plan is, and what I've started, 48 hours before that time, I'm going to message them and say, hey, loves, I'm so excited. I'll be processing your order in 48 hours. Did you want to add anything to your order? So I'm not saying, do you still want to do it? Do you want to add anything to your order? They're going to say yes or no. If they don't contact me 24 hours, I'm going to say, hey, girl, I'm going to process your order first thing in the morning so you don't have to worry about doing this. It's going to be taken care of. Expect the product at your house in about a week. If I still don't hear anything, if they haven't read it, then I will use their phone number and try to call them just to make sure. If they've read it, I'm going to assume that they agree because they saw it. Any opinions on that? Any questions or any and guys, I've been doing this. It's working. It's working really well for me. So opinions, questions, Anything cleared up from that point?
Yeah, I have a question, Danny.
Uh-huh.
So you do this soon as you set a product in place for them?
No, so I go through my order to get customers. So I get their goal. We talk about them. We talk about what they're doing. I then get their budget. From their budget, I present the products. Once we get the products presented, I present the price. That's usually either they're going to sign up right now or they're going to give you a follow-up. If they say, that's good, I want to get it on payday, I say, okay, that's awesome. When's payday? I want to get you locked in for this discount. And then whenever they say, okay, payday's the 13th, I say, okay, great. I can get you locked in if I can just get a little bit of information from you. And I send them the loyal form. And I say, I need you to fill out sections 2 and 3. And then I'll contact you 24 to 48 hours before I process your order on the 13th. So I don't do it until I get a follow-up date. But I do that so even if they give me a follow-up, I have their information and they've already agreed for me to process their order. Does that make sense? Okay. Anyone else have questions? Okay. So if no one has questions on that, guys, and I mean, I've been doing it 4 days now, and I have 5 people total after I process everything that I'm going to be putting in. So that's 5 loyals, and I'm pretty excited about. Okay, so next I came across an article when I was looking at some tips, and it's called 9 Secrets of Top Income Earners. And I really liked the article, so I wanted to share it with you guys. And the first thing it says that top income earners do is they know their target market. And what I wanted to go over this, on everyone's checklist, it has us add, 30 people a day. So when you add new people, you need to pay attention to who you're adding, who your target market is. If you are a mom and you pretty much talk about being a mom, then you probably need to find other moms to add to Facebook. We're not just going through adding 15 people, and I highly recommend you do not add people who are just on your people you may know, because a lot of those are going to be other network marketers and a lot of other distributors. What I personally do when I'm scrolling through Facebook, I find someone I have a lot in common with and who maybe is into a lot of the things I am. I go to their friends list and I add friends that we have a lot of mutual friends with, or that appear to also have a lot of interests like me. That means those people on my Facebook are going to have similar interests to me, so they're going to be branded to how I post. They're going to be branded to what I talk about, which means they're going to actually be commenting and liking and wanting to message me because they're like me. So does that make sense that we need to really focus on our target audience and who we're talking to? Yeah. Okay. And this even goes to like what you post, what products you use. If you're not a mom and you have, we have a lot of very young people on our team that maybe don't have kids or have a lot of friends who have kids, then maybe you need to talk about, what do you want to build your business about? Do you want to build it about a healthy lifestyle, working out? Do you want to do it about skincare and hair, skin, and nails? You need to define that. You need to have a philosophy of your business and mold everything you do around that philosophy. Okay, so the second thing top income earners do is have your why established. And one thing they do is they post it everywhere in their life. They are constantly reminded of their why. Your why needs to be strong. Your why needs to be pretty solid. So I highly suggest, if you haven't really sat down and figured that out, to do it. Do not over chase friends. It's really easy to want to contact our friends, and I think it's something that myself and Stephanie always say. However, you don't want to push them away and annoy them, but you want to always be what we call dripping on them. So, every time you guys go out to lunch, you don't have to be like, are you ready to join my team? But maybe have your greens there. When they ask what you're doing this week, and say, oh, I have a training with my team, I'm super excited about it. You don't have to say, if you join, you could go to my team, but you can just put out the positive vibes there. Just put out what it's doing for you, and things like that. Okay, so another thing that we talked about, and we're going to kind of start this on the next 30 days of the run, is master one strategy at a time. So I want you guys to come up with what your number one weakness is. I think Stephanie kind of talked about that last week. And I want you to really focus on every day on your personal development, listening to a video that clearly focuses on that weakness, because you can't focus on all your weaknesses. Yeah, we could probably name 15 different weaknesses we have, but if you can't focus on that, so you need to fix one at a time. And everyone has weaknesses. They're easier to come up with than strengths. So focus your personal development video on your number one weakness. The next thing they talked about, and these are things we do, include social media every day. I think everyone on here includes social media every single day. Consistency is another big one. They said the only way to fail is to quit. And the last one I really liked, it says provide value. People join you. People buy your brand. There are, in the big scheme of things, there's not a lot of It Works distributors, but everyone knows at least one. Everyone's cousin, everyone's best friend, everyone's friend's friend, everyone's cousin, everyone's everything is a distributor. So you need to brand yourself to be differently and brand yourself to be at a higher value than everyone else and what you can offer them. So, and then this kind of brings me to my next article that I read, is expanding your market to make sure you're getting more customers. Okay, so the first thing you need to do is, we have our checklist, but each week you need to budget time for networking. Okay, so how much time a week or a month or a day are you going to spend networking? Some people do this while they're grocery shopping, and this is just being able to live the blitzing lifestyle. And you can do meetings, events, maybe it's play date, maybe it's whatever it is you're doing. Plan that time a week and make yourself go, because how easy is it for me to say, oh, well, I'm busy at work, Nick can take Adeline to gymnastics. Whereas if I went, I could build my friendship relationship with all those moms and get them added to Facebook and potentially have a bigger warm market. Okay, so we just need to budget that time. So when we don't feel like doing something, we don't feel like going to the gym, maybe we don't feel like grocery shopping, we'll put it off until the weekend. We have to go out and do that, because that's time for us to work as well. And I think if once we start doing that and view it as a way to run our business and to build relationships, we're going to be better off. And you want to pick opportunities that put you into face-to-face with people that you want to advertise to. So if you build your business and you are branded to a certain market, you wouldn't want to go to a different market, because those people are not going to have as much in common to you. For example, I wish Rachel was on here. If I want to build my business, maybe I'm going to go to Sephora, I'm going to go shopping, I'm going to go to play dates, I'm going to go do this because that's who I am. I wouldn't necessarily go to a place where people ride horses. They would be like, who are you and why are you here? So pick something that you do and go to that market. So if you have a kid, find a local play date every week and go to it. I think of Sandra. She probably goes to Starbucks every single day. Use that time and say, I'm going to spend 30 minutes a day networking at Starbucks, because that barista probably doesn't change. So think of things that you do anyway. The dog park, very good, Ashley. I just saw her comment. So go to things that you do every day or you do regularly anyways and say, while I'm there this week, I'm going to spend this much time building relationships. So the next thing it's going to talk about is you want to build relationships. You are not trying to sell to these people. You should probably not bring up the business unless, one, they ask about what's on your shirt, or two, they ask what you do. You're not there to be a commercial. You're there to build a relationship. That is what this business is on. So when you're there, you should just talk to them, compliment their shirt, compliment this, compliment that, and get to know them a little bit so you can add them to Facebook. Facebook is your business. When you're out face-to-face, that's meeting friends. And you never want to give your card out. That was a tip that I thought we don't really see much, because we're always like, here's my card, here's my card, here's my card. And unless they specifically ask for one, they're probably going to throw it in the trash on their way out of wherever you're at. So a lot of times, even if they see your lanyard, you can say, you know what, this is my last one, but if I can get your info, or if you want to hand them your phone and say, add me to Facebook or do this, you know what, I can send you one. I can send you one in a message, and we can definitely work that out. So get them added to your Facebook, so they're not just seeing a salesperson, they're seeing you as a person for who you're branded to be, and they can build a relationship with you. Another thing is ask questions. People love to know that you care about them, so just ask questions about it. If their daughter is right there, something I could do is say, where did you get that outfit? I'm always looking for cute clothes for Adeline. And they're going to tell me, and then I can say, well, how old is your daughter? She looks about my daughter's age. I'm asking about them, but I'm also relating to me. So you definitely want to keep asking those questions. Don't sell yourself. That was a tip that I thought was really good. We tend to oversell ourselves. Someone says, what do you do? The rule that I read in this article was to keep it under 30 seconds. You do not want to exceed 30 seconds at all. You just say, you know what? Maybe this is all you say. I work from home for a health and wellness company. I really enjoy it. It allows me to be with my babies, or it allows me to do this. What do you do? Put the question back on them. You've laid that foundation. You've dripped some water on them, or you've dripped the business on them. You don't need to keep saying, well, I do this, and this is our business plan, and we follow steps to success, and I work from Facebook, and I can work while my kids sleep. Once you do that, you're overselling it, and you're making them think, whoa, I can't even ask her if I can do that because I can't sell. If you oversell to someone, they automatically think they need to sell to be able to do it. And the last tip from this article was just be interested in others. People love compliments. They love that you're genuinely interested in them. Go out and make friends. Okay, so now we're going to go to an article, and I'm talking really fast, guys, so if you have questions, let me know. I'm talking fast so we can get through this. I don't want to waste your time. You guys have been rocking your checklist. So does anyone have questions on that section about how to go out and build your market? Going once, going twice. Let's see what is in the chat. All right, so this is going to be kind of, and this is building up to getting those sales. Okay, so wrong page. First, you need to develop and understand a sales plan. If you don't have that, then you have no map to guide you to getting a customer. Every single time I talk to someone, I find their goal, find their budget, present the product, present the price, and I close the deal. Every single time. If that method doesn't work for you, that's fine. That's what I put together for me, and I'm very successful with it. Go and find your own then. Develop it and put it in front of you guys. When I first started using this is something Nick and I put together. I kept it in my phone, and when I talked to people, I would literally look at it and say, okay, well, I kind of got their goal. How am I going to word it to get to their budget? They'd give me their budget, and I'd say, okay, so now I need to come up with products, and I need to present them and make them believe or make them see it's in their budget. And you have to work yourself from one to the other, okay? If you're not doing that, you're probably not doing it the steps completely, and you're missing a lot, and that's why you're not getting sales. And I'm not even kidding. You have to master it. It seems like, oh, I can talk to people and tell them what they want. There has to be a process to it because the human brain works a certain way. So if this setup doesn't work for you, definitely develop your own and use it every single time. Because I can even look at a conversation I've had just even earlier today, and Nick and I were reading over it, and I said, well, crap, I lost the sale in the first comment back. I skipped a step, and that was when they stopped replying to me. So that's why it's so important that you guys do this and you develop this. So the next thing I was told on this article was assume the sale. If you have negative vibes in you that they might not want to order from you, they're going to pick up those negative vibes, whether it be on Facebook Messenger, in person, texting, phone call. You have to assume someone's going to say yes. In your heart, you have to know you have the best product for them, you have the best price for them, and that this is a program that's going to work for them. You have to know that. Your heart has to be completely committed to this, and you have to assume if they don't sign up that they're completely insane and they won't find anything else. Have your confidence and assume that they will sign up. So no one buys from someone who's desperate. If you're desperate needing them, they're going to sense that as well, and they're definitely not going to order from you. They just absolutely won't. You can't seem desperate and oversell. You have to be informational, and you have to relate to them. The first thing I do, if someone contacts me about wraps, I say, oh my gosh, I love the wraps. They can be used neck and below. Where are you wanting to tone up? I just ask them. And they're going to tell me. If they tell me their stomach, I'm going to say, oh my gosh, girl, I used mine after I had my daughter. I completely got my confidence back. Would you like to see my results? I have not even moved on from finding their goal and talking to them. They see my results, and I say, is this like results that you would want? They say yes. I'm like, okay, tell me, did you have a baby? Have you lost any weight? I'm still talking to them about their goal. I've not moved on from that point because I want them to know I genuinely really care about them, and I want them to feel confident and happy like I do. So my conversations about their goals and who they are and what they want go on a very long time. And that's one of my biggest tips for you guys. Don't be desperate and try to rush through it. Slow down, talk to them about what they need. So the next thing that this article said was third-party validation. And this was what was considered the most important thing you can do when signing a customer or distributor. And this is something our team doesn't do. I can 100% say that I've been put into one three-way conversation in the past week. And that is not what should be happening if we truly want to expand our team and if you guys want to promote. People don't want to listen to you. If you have kids, I want you to think about the last time you told them to do something and they just ignored you, like you weren't even speaking. And then all of a sudden someone else walked in the room and said, hey, pick up that toy. And they picked it up like nothing happened, like no one had ever told them before. People don't want to listen to you. They want to listen to someone you value and trust. So if you are not getting people in three-way conversations, you're really holding yourself back. And that goes for, I don't care if you're a distributor to an emerald. Get people in these conversations. Don't think you can do it yourself, because even at work, when I work with teenagers, a lot of times people will come get me as a manager when kids aren't listening. We have 17-year-olds who think they know everything and they're fighting in the gym. I can walk in the gym and say, hey man, what's going on? They're going to come talk to me and I'm going to say, well, I don't think that's appropriate. Maybe you need to leave the gym for a few minutes. They're going to walk out of the gym even though they just argued with someone else. So use another person, use a three-way call or a three-way message. And I personally feel like you guys need to make a goal. You're going to have at least 3 it works conversations a day. How many of those each day or each week are you going to get in a three-way conversation with either me, Stephanie, Nick, or someone else? Because once you start doing that, your close rate is going to get a lot higher and you're going to learn a lot. Noelle Cruz got Chad in a three-way conversation until she was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to mess it up. She was like double diamond or triple diamond. She was like extremely high up rank, and she was still getting her upline in conversation because she wanted to make sure she was offering them the best she can. So the next thing that came up again was ask questions. Ask questions to the person. When someone says they want to lose weight, you should know everything about what time they wake up in the morning, how much exercise they get, what they eat, what they drink. Are they a coffee drinker? Do they go to Starbucks? Do they drink soda? Do they drink enough water? Do they do this? You need to know everything about that person before you even provide a product to them. Make it a consultation. So many people out there spam message, spam message, spam message, sell someone something, and they weren't happy. They felt like they were used for a sale. Let's not let our people feel like they were used for a sale. And lastly, what I had is 100% you need to ask for the sale. At the end of the conversation, most people won't sign up with you because you never said, are you ready to get started? If you don't ask that question, they're going to just sit there. They're not going to do anything. So a couple ways we can do it. Sometimes I just say, you know what, if you're ready for this discounted price, let's get you started right now. Bottom line, they're either ready or they're not. I don't ever give them the option, are you ready today or do you want to do it at a later day? I say, if you're ready, let's get you started. Another thing you could say is just give them the option. Would you rather sign up on your own and we walk you through the steps, or do you want me to get you on the phone and do it for you? Or do you want me to get your information and process it? It takes about 2 minutes. Give them options that both have the same end results. Whether they call you on the phone and sign up, or whether you give them the directions over the internet, either way, they're still signing up. But people like options. My 2-year-old, if I say wear this today, she's not going to wear it. But if I put 2 outfits out and say which one would you rather wear, she feels like she has control. So you need to control the situation, but you need to let that person feel like they have a control. And that's when you need to say, if they say, oh, that sounds great, say, okay, awesome. Would you rather me walk you through the steps, or do you want me to call you and do it for you? Give them those options. There's no back out way of that. There's no way to get around it. You're giving the options. They're signing up right now. Another thing you can say if you're uncomfortable being that direct, which being that direct will help you, is to say, what questions do you need me to answer before we get you signed up? That's not super direct, but it's insinuating they will sign up. Always insinuate the person is going to sign up. So one more thing that I wanted to go over is ask yes questions. So here's how I kind of go through it. So I talk about their goal and I get to know them. And when I say, okay, so your goal is to lose 35 pounds, right? They're going to say yes. I got one yes. I'm going to say, okay, let's talk about, typically our products are done in monthly challenges. And the more you spend, the bigger the combination and the faster you're going to get your results. Knowing that, how much a month you have to spend to reach your 40-pound goal. They give me a number and I say, okay, so if I found a combination in your $50 budget, is that what you're looking for? They give me another yes. I've gotten 2 yeses so far. And then I go into present the products. I'm going to tell you a little bit about greens. They're my favorite product. They do this, this, and this. I keep it simple. And then also ThermoFit's super awesome. You're going to love it. It helps you burn extra calories. And something, do these sound like something you can fit into your life? I make it sound super simple. They say, yes, absolutely. Third, yes, they can fit it into their life. I say, okay, awesome. These come in right under your budget at, and I give them a price. Does that sound like it's in your budget? They say, yes. I've gotten 4 yeses. Now it's time for me to close the deal. I've already gotten them to say yes to every single step. That's what you guys need to be going for. Getting them to say yes the whole way. Getting them to agree that this is what they want, that this is what they're looking for. I say, awesome. Now, if you're ready, let's get you signed up. Do you want me to do it for you, or would you rather me walk you through the steps? They don't have a choice but to pick one of those. They've already said yes to everything. If they say, no, I'm not ready, I say, okay, did something not match what you were looking for? And then that's where they're going to say, well, I don't know how you feel about this product, or it's too much right now. I'm going to say, that's fine. I can reserve you a spot for that discount. When do you want to order it? They're going to give me a date. I'm going to give them the loyal customer form. They're going to fill out sections 2 and 3. I'm going to put them in my follow-up binder and process their order on that date. So, did this help anyone? What questions do you have? Opinions? Confusions? What do you guys think?
I hate when someone says like, well, how much is the total price? Because I already have like a screenshot of like the shipping. So I tell them like, well, the cheapest shipping price, because I'm not going to try to charge them for that. But then I live in a state where I don't pay state tax. So I don't have time to look for every damn state and figure that shit out for them. So I'm sorry, you're recording this as nicely as I'm trying to say it. How do I avoid that?
So I actually had a girl not too long ago, like right before I got on the Zoom, she's like, so what's the total price? Is there shipping? Is there tax? And I say, just like anything else you would order online, there's minimal shipping and there's tax. Just like if you were to go to Walmart or Amazon and order something else. And I say, I'm not sure about the tax. I think that would depend on where you're at, because I don't really know how that works. And then I say, however, the cheapest shipping is usually a couple dollars, and I can get you a roundabout range, but it's just like anything else you would order online in this price range. And I mean, you don't need to provide them with exact. I mean, I don't. I just say, it's the same as if you were to order something from Amazon. It's done by weight, and it's usually a couple bucks. So does that answer your question? Do you think that'll help?
Yeah, I know everybody that has ordered from New York or New Jersey that has ordered a box of wraps. It's $67.36 or 37 cents. Mm-hmm. That's including the shipping and tax. So I know that, like, definite. And when they live in Florida, I know that they don't pay state tax. So that's the only thing that kind of everything else confuses me.
Yeah. That's why I keep it vague, and I just say it's like anything else in this price range you would order online. And usually people have ordered something and they do know what that is. So does anyone else have questions about getting customers or this method I'm using? Or any questions that you guys feel is holding you back? Because honestly, we're not doing something right, because I know on Stephanie's downline, we don't always even total out of, I think, 200 people sign one customer a day. So something's holding us back. So I definitely want to know what questions you have and maybe what's frustrating you or what excuses you get you don't know how to answer. You know, I mean, obviously we're not signing customers every single day. So what do you guys feel is holding you back or things like that? I would love to hear from you guys. Okay, no one has anything else? That's all I have. Stephanie, do you have anything you want to add in or say?
Sorry, I was typing. My thing with me not getting loyals lately, I've always been bad at loyals, but I'm just having trouble finding people who want to. So how are you finding your people?
So I am running my Instagram, I'm running my Facebook, I'm running my Facebook group, and I'm running my Facebook page, and I'm just keeping them all active, and I'm trying to talk about me using products.
Yeah,
And
the 5 people that you've got their information for, where did you get those 5 from?
2 of them came from my personal Facebook page, 1 of them came from my Facebook group, and the other 2 came from my business page.
Okay, so it seems like Facebook's still really good for you for that. I've been trying to do Instagram, but I've got lots of potential distributors, but not the customers. I need to just focus on, I guess, posting about products more.
Yeah, and I'm very careful about who I add. And I just my Facebook is a lot better for getting customers. And I think a lot of it is my confidence when I talk to someone about being a customer. I've used all the products, so I can, you know, really talk about it, which I think you would be good at too. But you just need to be confident when you're talking to someone. In my Instagram, I do better at finding potential distributors, and I think it's because it's more like what you said one day, Stephanie, was it's moments in your life. And when people are attracted to your life, they are typically attracted to your lifestyle, and your lifestyle goes directly back to the business related side. Whereas Facebook, it's like living your life and what you're doing every day. It's just a little bit, I feel like it's different. But I'm running everything pretty hardcore right now, and that's why I'm getting everyone from stuff. So. And plus, I'm messaging a lot of people from Facebook too. I'm messaging a lot of people. So, does anyone else have questions before we get off here? Okay, well, Adeline just spoke up. So if no one else has anything, I think this is it.